6.3 Graph of sine, cosine and tangent functions. The graph for these three functions are seen to be periodic as the x-domain is extended. Look at the following graph. For graph y equals sin x for range negative 2 pi to 2 pi, here is 1, so the amplitude is equal to 1. The maximum is y equal to 1 and the minimum is y equal to negative 1. Okay, the period is equal to 360 or 2 pi for one cycle, and the x-intercept is negative 2 pi, negative pi, 0 pi and 2 pi, and the y-intercept is equal to 0. Graph y equal to cos x for range negative 2 pi x to 2 pi. So here is 1, the amplitude is equal to 1, the maximum value of y is equal to 1, the minimum value of y is equal to negative 1, and the period here, one cycle is for 360 or 2 pi, and the x-intercept is negative 3 over 2 pi, negative 1 over 2 pi, 1 over 2 pi, 3 over 2 pi, and the y-intercept is equal to 1. Graph y equal tan x for negative 2 pi to 2 pi. There is no amplitude, there is no maximum value of y, there is no minimum value of y. The line here we call as asymptote. X asymptote is negative 3 over 2 pi, negative 1 over 2 pi, 1 over 2 pi, 3 over 2 pi, and y-intercept is equal to 0. I repeat, here is the cycle for graph tan x. Period for tan x is 180 for one cycle, and the graph will keep on repeating this shape. If we have y is equal to a sin bx plus c, a is the amplitude, b is the period, and c is the position of the graph. Value of c will give you information that the graph is either shifted upwards or downwards. If the value of c is positive, so the graph is shifted upward, and if the value of c is negative, so the graph is shifted downwards. Similar transformations can be done on the graph of y equal cos x and y equal to tan x. The original shapes of the graphs remain unchanged. Changing the values of a, b and c will give effects to the graph. So let's learn how to sketch the graph of the trigonometric function for range 0 to 2 pi. So we have y is equal to sine x. Let's see, the period is 1 and the amplitude is equal to 1 also. So the basic shape of sine x is S shape. The period is equal to 1, so only one cycle to reach 2 pi, and the amplitude is 1, so the maximum is 1 and minimum is negative 1. B, y is equal to 2 sine 2x, so the period is 2 and the amplitude is also 2, so 2 cycle to reach 2 pi. Okay, so divide it by 0. Maximum is 2, minimum is negative 2 because the amplitude is equal to 2. Hence, label your y-axis and x-axis. Okay, for third question, y is equal to sine 1 over 2x. So here the period is 1 over 2, meaning that half cycle will take to reach 2 pi. So label here with 0, and the amplitude is 1, maximum is equal to 1, and your graph is ready. Next graph is y equals sine x plus 2. So if you see that plus 2, meaning that the graph will be shifted upwards. So draw graph sine x with one cycle because the period is 1, 2 pi, pi, 0, and the amplitude is 1 and negative 1. Now we want to move the graph upwards, plus 2, so meaning that the maximum is 1 plus 2 is equal to 3, 0 plus 2 is equal to 2, negative 1 plus 2 is equal to 1. So now we change the maximum and the position of x-axis. So maximum is equal to 3 and your minimum is 1, and your graph should be look like this. So to sketch y is equal to cos x. So the basic shape for cos x is like U shape. So the period is equal to 1 to reach to pi, 0, and the amplitude is equal to 1 and -1. For y equal to cos 2x, so the period is 2, meaning that the cycle is 2 to reach to pi. So here write to pi, 0, label x-axis, and the amplitude is 2, -2. Okay, see y is equal to cos x minus 1. So minus 1 here, meaning that the graph will be shifted downwards. Okay, so cos 1x have 1 cycle to reach to pi, right? Pi 0 and maximum 1, minimum is -1. So now we want to shift the graph downwards. So 1 minus 1 is equal to 0. 0 minus 1 is -1. -1 minus 1 is -2. So let's see how the graph look like. So here is the x-axis. So 1 cycle to reach to pi, 0. Minimum is -2, maximum is 0. So this is graph of y equal cos x minus 1. Now sketch graph y equal to tan x. First thing first, draw the asymptote line, and then you draw the tan x graph. Okay, make sure the line do not touch the asymptote line. So here is 2 pi, 0. So label x-axis and y-axis. You are done. Last, y is equal to tan x plus 1. So plus 1 meaning that the graph shifted upwards. So we draw tangent graph first. Asymptote line. Okay, settle. 2 pi, 0. So here 0 plus 1 is equal to 1, and the position of the x-axis is different now. Make sure that the line do not touch the asymptote line. Label your graph y and x-axis. So here is your y equal to tan x plus 1 graph.